social misconception is that Islam is opposed to democracy. You know, usually Western society likes to hold up democracy as being the ideal. This is where people's rights are ensured, freedom, liberty, justice to all, democracy. Whereas Islam is opposed to this democracy. Well, the reason why Islam does not accept democracy as it is portrayed from a Western point of view is that the laws fundamentally come or should come from God. If it's a question of the group of people deciding what's right and what's wrong, then you're going to find right and wrong varying. You know, with every 10 years or every 4 years, every time you change administration, whatever, you have a new set of what is right and a new set of what is wrong. So the society is in a constant flux. You know, they say good and evil are relative. Whereas the Islamic view is that no, good and evil are absolute. They're not relative. What is evil is evil. No matter where you are, when it takes place, it's evil. It is evil to commit adultery 1,000 years ago, and it is evil today. It's evil to fornicate 1,000 years ago, and it's evil to fornicate today. So the laws are stable. They don't change. These things which are clearly defined by God, these man has no right to play with. So this is why you can't have democracy as we know it or as it is portrayed in the Western context. Because man has no right to interfere and make these laws. He has a right to deal with certain other social, in the application of the law, certain social circumstances, you know, if he wants to put traffic lights or, you know, building codes for houses and these type of things. Man has the right to agree as a group, democratically, as to what may be done. And Islam encourages that. However, it is encouraged as long as it does not contravene any of the divine laws. So democracy is encouraged in a limited sense, you know, within the sphere which doesn't affect the absolute good and the absolute evil. And when you practically look at the Western democracies, to be very honest, what is put on the rule books is not what is really in practice. Because, for example, here and in other countries, Muslim countries, education is free from kindergarten to PhD. Some people say, well, here it's not here because they have so much money. But no, in the Sudan, it is free from kindergarten to PhD, and they don't have so much money. Because the society, Islam, teaches that it is the fundamental right of every citizen to be educated. When education is limited to one segment of the society, you can study up to grade 12. After high school, now you got to pay. Then it means that it becomes the exclusive right of a certain segment of the society. You know, this is a class society. In America, if the masses of the people were given the choice, should we have free education from kindergarten to PhD, you can be certain that the masses of the people would say yes. But it's not there. It's not there. And this is a basic help. If the masses of the people were asked, should we have free health care? The majority will say yes, but we don't have it. Is it because the people don't want it? No, they want it. Is it because America is Too poor? No. America is the richest country on this earth right now. In terms of the control of resources, it is the richest. It could provide free education for all of its citizens and free health care for all of its citizens. It could do this. But it does not. And, of course, these are for political reasons, whatever, one could get into. But I'm just bringing this to point out, on the other hand, that those people who maybe make the biggest noise about democracy, when you actually go and look into the situation where democracy is supposed to be functioning, you find that there are big question marks here. Is there really a democracy here? Or is it just a kind of a routine that people go through every 4 years, whatever, we are going to elect a new this one and a new that one. But in fact, the decisions are made, behind closed doors or, behind the scenes. Another misconception here, common, is that Western women should avoid Muslim males because they will molest them. Women are told, if you see I know some groups have been told this has been related to me, directly and indirectly. Women have been told, if you're, coming down the street, you see some Muslim males on this side, better to go on the other side because they will pinch your behind or whatever. In reality, it's not to say that not some people will do it. Yes, there are some. But this is not the case of the majority of the males. This is not true. They will not molest women. This is not the norm. You find exceptions, but it's not the norm. And those people who have, lived here long enough and been around different parts of the kingdom, can attest to the reality is that this is not the case at all. I will add that you have an element, for example, who tends to look at the Western woman as being a loose woman. Easy to get. You flash some money in her face, you come up with a big car, and she'll jump in your car and go where you want her to go. This is a misconception, going the other way. This is a result of those people watching videos and movies coming from America. But it's American propaganda, unfortunately. America has portrayed its women in the movies and videos, etc., in this fashion. And these individuals, deviant or corrupt individuals, this is what they have accepted. And even others who are not necessarily deviant or corrupt, but they have been exposed to some degree to media presentation of American women, and that's the impression that they get. It's unfortunate. It's not true. Because the fact that the women may not be dressing in certain fashions, etc., it doesn't mean that the majority of them are loose or easy or whatever.